school, what's up? It's Pastor E here, and I hope you all are doing well this week. We're gonna jump right in. I have an activity. It's called Good or Go. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna put some familiar people on the screen, and I want you to think about whether they are just good at what they do or whether they're the GOATs at what they do. I'll tell you what I think, but I want you to put your comments in the comment section of this video. So first up, we have Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. Listen, Cardi B is the GOAT on this one for me because she's still going strong in the rap game. Nicki Minaj, I mean, I don't know what she's doing right now, but Cardi B is on it. Money, money, money. Alright, so next up we have Beyonce and Rihanna. So y'all know Queen B always gotta get it. That's the girl. She the queen. She's the GOAT. Alright. Next up, Michael Jackson or Chris Brown. Now this one, it's hard for me because I love Chris Brown. That's my boy. He got the moves. He got the swag. But Michael Jackson, I mean, really, he really is the GOAT. So, hands down, Michael Jackson's the GOAT there. Alright. Next up, Drake or Soulja Boy.
Yeah, Drake. Drake?
Drake is the answer for me on this one. Drake is an amazing lyricist, and I mean, you gotta give it to Drake, alright? So, next up we have LeBron James and Zion Williamson. Another one. This one is easy for me. It's LeBron James. Now, Zion Williamson, he is a phenomenal basketball player, but he's a rookie right now, so you gotta give it to the veteran in the pay, which is hands down LeBron James. Alright, last one. This one is pretty good. Alright, Black Panther or Iron Man. So y'all know what it is. Wakanda forever. Gotta give it to Black Panther. Alright, but honestly, you guys, I think all of these people are GOATs in their own way. Like, they all are great at what they do in their own unique way. And it's because of how they do what they do. Now, maybe you can name some others who are great at what they do. I mean, we all can name some others. But what they all have in common is that they've all done something that no one else has done, and or they do it in a way that no one else has done it. Like Michael Jackson with the moonwalk, or Beyonce. Beyonce was the first black woman to headline Coachella. I know we've been talking about LeBron James, but Steph Curry, no one thought that he was big enough to play in the NBA. They thought he was too small. But my man is killing it in the NBA. Now, there is another one. And he's the GOAT of all GOATs. Lean in, let me tell you who it is. It's God. That's right, it's God. God shows up and God shows out every single time. Even when situations seem impossible, God is creating ways to make those things happen. Just like when God delivered the Israelites from Egypt. Big facts. And it's one of the many ways that we learn about God's greatness. So last week, we learned that God gave Moses and the Israelites some instructions to follow while Pharaoh and his army was chasing them at the Red Sea. And this week, we'll learn that God did exactly what he told Moses and the Israelites that he was going to do. God told Moses and the Israelites, he told Moses, hey, stretch your arms and your staff toward the Red Sea. And he told Moses that when he did this, he was going to create a path through the Red Sea so that he and the Israelites can walk through on dry land. So let's see what happens after that. Exodus chapter 14 verses 21 through 22 reads, Then Moses stretched out his hands over the Red Sea, and all that night the Lord drove the sea back with a strong east wind and turned it into dry land. The waters were divided And the Israelites went through the sea on dry ground with a wall of water on the right and on their left. Wow, God did exactly what he said he was gonna do, and it was big. I mean, it looked like there was no way that they were gonna get away from Pharaoh and cross this Red Sea. But God created a pathway when it seemed impossible. I mean, can you imagine a whole sea opening up and there's a dry path going through it? I mean, take a look at this picture right here. It's hard to imagine that a pathway could be created through this body of water so that there is dry land that someone can walk through safely. Martin Luther King Jr. made a speech years ago during segregation and the civil rights movement called I Have a Dream. And you probably heard of it. In that speech, he shared his hopes for blacks and people of all races to have equality and to join together in unity. And today in our world, we're not quite exactly there. And I'm sure Martin wasn't really sure how or when it would happen. But what we do see today is that people of all races are joining together to take a stand for equality and unity, and to protest and stand against racism, oppression, inequalities, and police brutality in our nation. You know what Martin Luther King Jr. had? He had faith and hope that things would be different. And I think even though we're going through tough times in our nation right now, we have to have faith like Moses and the Israelites did at the Red Sea. And we have to have faith like Martin Luther King Jr. and everyone during the civil rights movement that things will change. Because they couldn't physically see how their situation would change. But they had the faith that God would change their situations. And God did exactly that. For Moses and the Israelites, he created a pathway to escape at the Red Sea. And for Martin Luther King Jr. and the civil rights movement, he created the end of segregation of public schools, of all schools and all public places. Our Bible says in Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1, now faith is the substance, that's all or everything we hope for. It's the evidence, it is the proof or the facts of things that we cannot see. For by it the elders obtain a good testimony. That's the story about how they overcame. So that means that faith is hoping for what we cannot see. And it's by the testimony of our elders. That's the stories of how they overcame that we learn, and we are encouraged to have faith. In our nation today, there's racism, there's inequalities, and there's police brutality. And we may not be able to physically know when or how that's gonna change. But I do believe we have to have hope like those who came before us. And like I told you all last week, this just isn't about the experience that we're all having in our nation today. But it's about what's happening in your personal life. So my question for you today is, what impossible thing are you hoping for to change? What are you hoping for to change in your life? What are you hoping to accomplish? And what are you hoping to become? Middle school, whatever it is, I want you to remember this, that God is the GOAT of all GOATs. He's the ultimate GOAT, and he's great at making impossible things seem possible. God can do what no one else can do, and he can do those things in a way that no one else can do them. That's all I have for you today. Take care. Peace.